He knocked me over. I landed on the dog bowl.
This one's wife, Harry, went to the Met Gala without her. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. Good Lord, what heresy is this? Has Harry broken out from under the spell of this one's wife? Has he finally woken up? As the fact that his friends have said to him, "Psst, ginger bollocks, you need to watch the videos by Tudor. They'll cause you to wake up and get you out of the prison that you find yourself in." Is it the case that he's finally latched onto the work of the Ultra and the scales have fallen from his eyes? And thus he snuck away to attend the Met Gala without his captor, without his handler. Ordinarily, the narcissist needs to keep a relatively tight leash over the intimate partner primary source, even when they're in a sustained devaluation. This is why this one's wife doesn't like to let Harry go overseas for too long. He has to fly, attend the event, and whiz back. You'll recall a little while ago where he undertook a visit where he was barely in the country for 24 hours. Fairly punishing schedule on the Prince of Pink pancakes, but it's all part of his handler going, "Here, boy," and causing him to have to return. When he is away, even if it's for a few days, she'll be in repeated telephone contact. Now, of course, many people who are in a relationship where they're apart will speak to one another on a daily basis. That's understandable. But remember, where this is being done by the narcissist, it's all part of the control that has to be asserted over Harry. It might seem like she's finding out how his day has been, but what she's doing is drawing fuel from him by way of his responses and ensuring she knows what he's up to. Remember, the narcissist's paranoia is lurking in the background, reminding her of the need to check up on him, to find out who he's with, what he's doing, questioning such things. Those of you who have been with the narcissist will remember the occasions where you couldn't go anywhere without being cross-examined about where you're going or where you'd been, who you're seeing, who was there, was that person single, were they married, and so on and so forth. It becomes intrusive. Therefore, for Harry to go and do something, he must always do so with the blessing of this one's wife, who essentially allows him, even though he's an adult male, he is subjected to her approval of the things that he does. And this is, of course, why she attends so many things with him which aren't necessarily anything to do with her, the Invictus Games being an obvious example in that regard. However, when it comes to the necessity of asserting control over Harry, but her facing threats to her own control generally, we've seen in this instance that she has stayed in a position of withdrawal because her narcissism still sees that a visit to the United Kingdom would be too problematic. She's likely to be booed, which is a threat to control, and that she regards the press, the public, and members of the royal family as still hostile towards her, meaning her narcissism wouldn't risk a visit. But what was it that caused Harry to be able to escape his handler and turn up at the Met Gala? As I explained in a video yesterday, this one's wife would give her eye teeth to attend at such an event. She believes it's her people. It would give her such an opportunity to draw fuel and manage her facade, access residual benefits, and attend to quite a lot of character trait acquisition. And therefore, for Harry to go to the event without her really is a capital offence on his part. So what went on? Well, Emily Jane Davies explains in the Daily Mail, Prince Harry's doppelganger was working at the Met Gala, as social media users were taken aback when they thought the royal was lifting dress trains. A staff member who looked remarkably similar to the Duke of Sussex was smartly dressed and was on hand to help carry and position the elaborate floral outfits sported by those in attendance. He was pictured helping Tyler with her hourglass look, standing behind Rita Ora and Taika Waititi, and holding the train dresses at the red carpet. The event, celebrating the Garden of Time, also saw the body double walking behind American rapper Queen Latifah in her Bird of Paradise print dress. The real Harry and his wife, this one's wife, were not in attendance at the event, which raises money for the Metropolitan Museum of Art. Thus, the attendance, of course, wasn't actually Harry. He hadn't had to slip his handler. He hadn't had to wait until this one's wife was ensconced in deciding whether she would wear camel or oatmeal before he made a break for the border and legged it, heading off to New York to attend the event. No. It, of course, was all a bit of fun that arose from social media as people spotted a gentleman that you can see in the pictures that does have a passing resemblance to the Prince of Pink Pancakes, both in terms of hair colour, beard, and thinning a touch on top also. But there's more to this than just a little bit of fun about saying that Harry's doppelganger was there. It is about reinforcing the point that the Sussexes were NFI'd. The Daily Mail, no fan, of course, of this one's wife or Harry, looks for any available opportunity to throw some snark in their direction. And they have done so by pointing out that there was a doppelganger, looks like Harry, but Harry wasn't there and neither was this one's wife. A further snub for the Sussexes, and particularly in relation to an event that this one's wife would love to have attended. Whilst on the surface it might appear like it's a bit of fun, it's actually designed to cause a problem for this one's wife by pointing out, you were NFI'd once again, and even a doppelganger was there, but not the real thing. Shows how you and the Prince of Pink Pancakes aren't really liked, doesn't it? And it's another threat to control of this one's wife because it's a reminder through national media that she wasn't invited to an event that she would love to have attended, and therefore it wounds. This is something that the Daily Mail and other newspapers, because they essentially don't like this one's wife as a consequence of the way that she has behaved, do on a regular basis. They did it also in relation to Archie's 5th birthday. No pictures were released, unlike, for instance, what the Waleses do for their children. Instead, Hello had to pump out a PR puff piece bringing up the past. And the Daily Mail did similar, where they talked lots about what Archie's life has been like, but of course pointed out some of the anomalies that have occurred with regard to his birth, etc., and how the fact that he's hardly ever seen. So once again, it's planting that seed of doubt in the mind of the public. It appears at first blush to be talking about his birthday, but it's another opportunity to point out the failings of the Sussexes. And this is the same. It might appear as a light-hearted thing to suggest, oh, Harry was actually at the Met Gala because it was his doppelganger. But it is reinforcing the fact that these two aren't popular, that they are disliked, because they are actually wanting people to notice, see, they weren't invited, and will remind you of that fact again by referencing a doppelganger. It demonstrates just how problematic it is for this one's wife with regard to her plummeting popularity, something which is critical for the type of narcissist that she is. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.